Namaste, Grand Rising. Blessed evening to those of you on the other half of the world. Lovely to have you here. Today I'm back with the moon reading. So if your tarot card of the year is the moon, or you are connecting to today's reading through the energy of Pisces as your sun or your ascendant or your moon, I hope that something here today resonates with you. And always I'll be beginning with a discussion, reflections of this card. And interesting, this is an 8-year. So I am working with the number 8 as adjustment, balance, justice. And I think there's something quite potent here having the moon card, the pillars of the moon, the harmonizing of the moon, the awareness of the ebb and the flow of the moon, and that idea of adjustment. It feels very significant. Okay, so let's get into this a little bit more deeply. I do want to welcome Silver Spiral Tarot. Thank you so much for supporting my channel in this way. And for those of you that are new to this series, I'm offering about 20 minutes or so going through this card. I will pull one tarot card for each of the planets, and then I will dive a little bit deeper into this reading as a members feature. And you're welcome to just join that for a month. If you're just here to pick up your reading, that can be, you can flow in and out of that as often as you need. And there's tons of content in my channel, so please be sure to check it out. I recently did a video called how to navigate your way around my channel, and if that might be of help to some of you. So thank you again. Good morning, Clevis. So the moon as these towers of the moon are so mysterious. They appear in the death card. This is mutable. There's so many things here. This is mutable water. This is changing water. This is the flow of water. If there ever was a watery card, this is the watery card. This is the one that takes us into the new year, into Aries season. There's something about a completion with this card. There's something about also having absorbed. I feel like this is like a sponge. This is like a sponge, this card, and it's associated decanic minors, if you're reading it that way, with astrological connections, and I may touch on some of those if they show up in the reading. But these towers form a gateway. Whether these are cement towers or they are trees, whether they are something that you notice in your pathway when you're out on your moonlit walk. Walk through these towers. If the trees are close enough together, place your hands on either side as you walk through and feel its energy. This is about you crossing energy levels. This is about you crossing from one emotional stage to another. There is tremendous opportunity here to heighten intuition, to come to a different understanding of what it is that you are processing. And I often look at this card, and I guess the closest one here is the Marseille card, Marseille deck that I have on the table. This creature that can move from one habitat to another. I think this also speaks to our flexibility, our adaptability, how important it is to be able to move from, and let's use the word discomfort, from the discomfort of an uncomfortable conversation at the office, and all of a sudden you arrive home and your daughter presents something you're just not ready to talk to. This ability to transition from environment to environment, from discomfort to discomfort, exploring it in a way that you recognize. I think by the time you've gotten to this card and you receive the moon card in a reading, your level of awareness has increased somewhat. This feels, this is also ruled by Jupiter classically, so there's a sense of expanded awareness that I think you can confidently this year trust in the messages that you receive. Now, that might seem contradictory because often with the moon card, you hear people saying, well, in the moonlight, things aren't seen clearly. This is a card of illusion. This is a card of mystery. But I think this, if we come into this mood, this card with the mind of the explorer, right? This is mutable energy. This is wanting us to change and to flow and to challenge and to continue to journey. This is the card of any sort of mystical, magical experience. This is deeper dream journaling. This is deeper levels of your meditation. This is whether, if you're taking pharmaceuticals or plant medicines and experimenting in that way. I am of a 100% belief that you can journey and travel and have the most amazing fourth, fifth dimensional experiences without taking psychedelics and plant medicines. I've done it. I've done it since I was a child. But if that is something you need to cross over, then by all means, you do that in a safe environment and always with a teacher and supported. But I think a lot can open for you this year. Learn to meditate. Learn to walk meditatively. Learn to find meditation in your everyday movements. Learn to observe your heartbeat. Learn to observe your swaras, your dominant breaths. Learn to, and if I'm quite certain that you pay attention to the moon and you are aware of the moon cycles, but if that's something that you don't do, this is your year to dive into lunar astrology, the lunation cycles and the effects of the lunation cycles on you. So if you don't know where the moon was when you were born, learn that. That's easy. There's lots of moon apps that are available, and you can put in your day, month, year, location, and find out whether the moon was full or new or disseminating or whatever it was doing. And apparently, and I work with this, so when the moon is in its phase within a day or two of when you were born, this is a very potent time of the month to take action. And it may be contradictory to the general energy of the moon, where we act and we grow and we expand. We say, yes, we do. We plan, we hold the party in the waxing moon, and we're quiet and we integrate and we collect our thoughts, and we are a little less active as the moon is waning. But there might be something very potent for you in the waning moon phase. So learn what your moon phase is of each and every month. Learn what sign your moon was in when you were born. Learn to connect to all of the moon phases. They have a special gift. Start a moon journal. And if you are a young woman and you haven't started clocking your blood moon cycle, this is the year to get your blood moon cycle in time with the moon that is in the sky. There is something quite amazing with cycling your physical body in time with the earth, the environment. And if you are not a young woman, then there are other ways we can get in cycles with the earth. So one thing, and this might sound very bizarre, is that I live near the coast, so I have a tide app on my phone, and I pay attention to the tides, and as often as possible, observe and journal my responses, other things that are going on in terms of the tides. When we have king tides, observing how that affects others, events, the environment, and so forth. It's absolutely fascinating. It's also tremendously cleansing, right? To be with the tide. And I let's go to the poem. I'm sharing poems from the Voyager Tarot. This is a companion book to the Voyager Tarot, written by Lloyd Hageland. Moon. Moon is patient and reflects. Feeling and moving the tides, Moon caresses the earth, dancing gently with her. Moon is calm and deep. She hides her deep beauty under the colorless dust. She draws you into her inner moon. She speaks to your tides and inner beauty. Moon is sensual as a dream, as polished as an uncut diamond. Moon feels beyond the here and now, and she knows from within, bookless but real and wise. When the moon card shines upon you, your dreams speak louder, your tides are sharper, and your feelings are richer. Watch your owl and hear your wolf. The energy of the moon is sensitive and passive, dark and reflective, intuitive and sensual. She reaches for color and heat. Beware of over passivity. Still breathe and act. Moon and sun balance each other. And I think that is a key thing here. So we, as I mentioned, we're in this year of adjustment and balance. And with lunar energy, you would assume that everything is receptive and less active and intuitive. But there is, that crawfish is emerging. You are emerging and you are carrying forward. So the moon is on this straight line, the central pillar, the central channel, the Sushumna Nadi towards Keter. This is you balanced and focused and heading on your way. This is really a beautiful place. So there are steps to take, and these actions may not be as active as if you are in a solar year or a tower year or something like that, but they are still, the moon needs to be balanced. And I think we also need to acknowledge the sun's contribution. We wouldn't see what we see in the shadows of the moon. We wouldn't see what we see at night if it weren't for the sun. So let's acknowledge the sun and the sun's part in this as well too. This is also the high priestess. The high priestess supports here in her wisdom, in her inner knowing. And so all of that will be amplified within you, most certainly. And so you can hold and trust and perhaps check out the reading for the high priestess card as well too. It's kind of it's a very opening sort of energy, guiding you forward. It feels very powerful. I can feel this as a heart-centered opening this year. I feel a lot empathically in my physical body, and this is this feels like it could. It's gone beyond the Swadhisthana. So second chakra. This is way beyond Swadhisthana. This is, you're on your way. Like you've been doing great work. You really have. All right, so let's pull some cards. In whatever way you're coming to this reading today, let this reading support. Let it inform, inspire, challenge if necessary. Let it open gateways, bring harmony with nature's natural cycles, enhance your inner goddess, your inner tides, your inner beauty. Beauty as grace, beauty as harmony, beauty as heart chakra. And as always, we ask these messages be in the highest for the greatest good. and that no harm be done. So be it. Mm. Devil. Oh, yes, I'm going to start on Jupiter. Jupiter as the ruler of the classical ruler of Pisces. There's going to be a really interesting connection between this card and what comes up on the moon card. And I have started my, just so you know, I've started my reflection, looking at messages that come through. Another major arcana, 8 in an 8-year, 8 of Swords, in the Saturn position. That's interesting. Okay. Temperance feels really good there. Deep connection. I'll get to that a little bit in a moment. Son of Cups in the Mercury position. 10. 10 of Wands and the Moon. Okay. 10 of Wands. What is your 10 of Wands? The Hanged Man, another major, another water card. Earth, fire, water. Jupiter in the Mars position. So we have the wheel and Temperance having this conversation with each other. So let's start with that. I was one thing that was in this poem by Mr. Haglund. That one line I think is really important. Beware of over passivity, still breathe and act. The energy of the moon is sensitive and passive, dark and reflective, intuitive and sensual. She reaches for color and heat. Beware of over passivity, still breathe and act. Moon and sun balance each other. Well, Temperance is mutable fire. Mutable fire. So Venus is being, Venus is driving. The sensual experience of Venus is driving Temperance. And that to me feels very personal. It feels like your full participation in your physical, earthly healing and wellness. It feels very conscious, very much in the here and now. And I feel like the Mars card is really supporting that and saying, yeah, let's expand and continue to grow and heal. And in this lunar year, of course, we have heightened feelings and emotions, and intuition is on the rise, and dreams are deeper, and we may be a little bit more sensitive. But let's embrace that in a bold and brilliant way, and say, yes, I am growing through these lunar investigations. Is that a good way to describe it? Be inspired, using that keyword inspired as a fire suit keyword. Be inspired. Be inspired, and let your inspiration come from both the sun and the moon. Being in reverence of their dance with each other. Overhead, the 8 of Swords in Saturn. So Saturn creates containers. There is So this is a mutable card. This is mutable Gemini, mutable mind. There is, for some reason, a need of, I would say Saturn is supporting this layer of protection. You have two cards. Notice you also have the bat, right? The Hanged Man. There's two cards here that are, it's like they're encasing you. They're saying, yeah, this cocoon experience is part of the lunar journey. Why do we need to dedicate some time to cocooning? And that is the time for inner reflection and the time for really understanding what we're moving through. I know some people struggle with the sacrifice word that's attached to the Hanged Man. And I think if we are just open and honest in that there may be something we need to give up in order to go a little deeper in our self-development. And that might mean a commitment that you wouldn't dream of giving up. And then look what's to the left of that, the moon position in the Ten of Wands. So you may have to, and this balance thing, this is a give and take. So if you want to take this to the next level here in this world, there may be something you need to release in order to receive the full effects of the moon. And just think about what that might be. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about Dharma, a life path, and why that Ten of Wands is showing up there. Ten of Wands in relationship with the Temperance card, because that's connected through Sagittarius, through your spiritual warrior. We have the Son of Cups. The Son of Cups. So this is the knight, the mutable water knight who is sitting in the Mercury position. Mercury is very mutable, and I wouldn't think of Mercury as cup energy, but there's something very flowy about Mercury. So let's explore that a little bit more when I come back in the next section, okay? If this is resonating with you, here is the link to part 2, and I will just take a moment. I need to reset, and I look forward to seeing you then, okay? Take good care and let me know how you're doing. And as always, please, please come back in a few months' time and let me know how this is playing out for you. All right? Thank you so much. See you soon.